Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga. Gauranga, Gauranga. Gauranga, Jesus Prabhu, Jesus Prabhu, Jesus Prabhu, Jesus Prabhu. Good morning. Nice class you did today. Very amazing. You got the knack. You got the knack. Things are easy when you're empowered, right? Jesus, Jesus, Prabhu, Jesus, Prabhu, Jesus, Prabhu, Jesus, Prabhu, Jesus, Prabhu, Jesus, Prabhupada, Jesus, Prabhupada, Jesus, Prabhupada, Jesus, Prabhupada, Jesus, Prabhupada, Jesus, Prabhupada. Jesus, Prabhupada, Jaya Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Prabhupada, Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri 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 Krishna Chaitanya. Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri 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 Advaita Nityananda, Sri Advaita Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Nityananda, Nityananda, 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gaura Chandra, 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 Gaura Chandra. Nityananda, 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 Gaura Chandra, Gaura Chandra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh my Lord, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh my Lord, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Oh my Lord. Oh, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh my Lord. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Ah, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nityananda, Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, 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 Gaurachandra, Vishvambara, Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Vishvambara, Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Vishvambara, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Vishvambara, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Gauranga, Gaurachandra, Vishvambara, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Ooh, all right. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yes. Oh, what a nice meal we get here. You know, you get the full meal here, full service, ecstatic worship and conclusive truth. It's perfect, man. Yeah. Yes. Wonderful, man. Full meal, full service here. Yeah. Okay. Chapter 8, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila. Chapter 8. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Lalita, you can read a little bit there. Adi Lila, chapter 8.
Okay, Guru Maharaj, thank you. Thank you so much. Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra. Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I need to offer my respect again. I will love again. I offer my respect to the supreme personality of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By whose design I have become like a dancing dog and suddenly taken by the writing of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Although, although I am a fool.
Isn't that great, man? I love the mood. See, that's true. Transcending false prestige, man. Considering yourself a dancing dog. You know how many people they do the opposite in the world, all the way up into religion. The opposite. They're all trying to look good, you know, and because that makes them popular. People are looking for those who look good, but it's always externally. You got to externally look good, you know. That's probably why I haven't been so popular myself. You know, I've never cared about that. And as a matter of fact, I can't do it. I just can't spend my time trying to look good externally. I just like I'm kind of like I just like to just. It's almost like, well, if you can't get it, if you don't really see what's really important and the external is important, well, go to these big gurus out there. Go to the Pope. Go to somebody looking good. Go to Trump. You know, they dress up. They've got to wear their suits with a tight tie around their neck. You think that looks good? Well, go for that. Go for the nice dhotis and the big seats and all that. Yeah. To me, what I treasure is internal good. You know, what's good to God. You know, what looks good to Him is what looks good to me. And that's what I want to communicate to the world. And if you're blinded by the externals, better not bother me. I like sincere people here that are looking also like that. You know, the Lord sees, oh, this person's looking for me. Let's send them to Gohari. Yeah. The others, they're blinded by external. They're into, they're not unsatisfied with external bhakti yet. They're not like in the mood of Lord Chaitanya was. Ramananda Roy, that's external bhakti. Varnashram Dharma and regulative devotional service, it's external bhakti, man. Tell me something deeper. Yeah, I like the deeper, man. And if you're superficial, there's a lot of places out there. The Lord has a teacher for everybody. Go to the big scholars out there, like Acharya Dev or something. He'll teach you how to play piano nicely. I'm here to teach people how to love Krishna. Man. I don't think that's their interest over there. They don't. You know, I think they're really more like the external, like what's on the outside of the cup. I like what's on the inside. I like to drink the nectar. Isn't that the idea of chanting the holy name is like the outside is a nice dry finishing your rounds mode of goodness thing. Yes, I accomplished. I did my fruit of duty today. You know, I chanted the holy name. Didn't experience much holiness, but still I did my duty. I'm not satisfied with that. I never was. Well, I want taste, man. That's why you guys, how foolish that is. You know, you come to Krishna consciousness and your gurus can't even teach you that it's all about what we teach. It's all about this. It's all about tasting How simple it is. What do you think Krishna is doing in Vrindavan? He's tasting the nectar of remembering his devotees' names. He remembers cows. When he falls asleep, he counts his cows' names that he loves so much, and they love him. Yeah. See, we're on the same page. See, Amy says she likes because that's all around the board. Yeah, I consider. See, we're on the same page. I don't attribute this to me. I attribute this to the Lord's blessings, the empowerment. Because I like what He likes. I want to present that to the world. I'm tired of looking at what he doesn't really treasure. I mean, people they treasure money. They're all looking at the external, his material body. His material body. It's his body, man. You're after his body. When Jesus said, "I'm the bread of life." Well, the opposite of that in this world, the bread of life for people are gold, silver, women, men, children, and that's all the Lord in that form. But it's gross, isn't it? Isn't it funny the word? You ever hear these people say, "That's gross"? That's gross. Devotees say something. That's gross, man. It's gross. But they don't do it with hatred. It's gross, man. It's gross. Material. Mundane. See? Solid. See? You come here, you're going to get to the point you say, "My God, man, I can practically feel God. I can feel God. It's solid in my life." Otherwise, the world will be solid. It's a lot easier, isn't it? You can pick up an object, man. You pick up this, it's solid, right? Yeah, pick up the name, see how solid it appears to you. It's solid when you can taste it, right? Gives it form, man. Ooh, you ever hear these people whistle? What a beautiful form she's got. He's got. When you start doing that with Krishna's transcendental form, now you know you're a liberated soul. Ooh, wow, what a figure. Man, you're hot. No wonder they think devotees are crazy. Why would you be after some invisible thing like that? And it's more solid, man. Come, go, come, come in. We got these big deities, man. You can see them, you can feel them. Yeah, yeah. You got these. You can come to the temple, man. It's you can see the gorgeousness of the temple, right? We spent years to build the temple. And what do I say? I say what Jesus says. Hey, man, temple? Oh, this is a temple. His body. He said, if you knock this temple down, I'll raise it up in 3 days, right? He was talking about his body. See, that's a devotee, man. You don't need, these people. I told you that story. I was in Varkala in India, and I'm sitting there drunk on ecstasy, just chanting as usual, and totally like I just went on pilgrimage. That's my pilgrimage, just ecstatic chant. I don't have to go just you just call the Lord and He's there, and there you go. You got your pilgrimage, man. I don't know why anybody doesn't want to do it the easy way. And they're stopping through Varkala, and they said they're Indians, always on pilgrimage, always going to a holy place, right? And they go, yeah, yeah, we went to this holy place, man. My God, it was so hard to get there. Oh man, we had to go through this on a bumpy ride for hours and hours and hours, but we finally made it to the holy place. And we got eye exercise looking at the deities. I added that, but that's basically what they did. And they came another hours coming back, and they're all dusty and tired and exhausted and didn't, had problems with the car and all this. But they did it. They went on pilgrimage. And I'm sitting there chanting in ecstasy every day, just looking My God, it could be a lot easier for you. Why do you have to? I don't have to go any place to meet God. Do you have to go any place, Lolita, to meet God? Would it be nice you don't have to? Oh, I got to go on a pilgrimage. I got to go spend $2,000 to go on pilgrimage to see Krishna, and then you don't really see because you don't see. Hey man, we'll save you a fortune. Come here, man. Turn your camera on. We'll teach you how to see God every day. We'll make it substantial in your life. You awaken your soul. You'll be born again. So you can enter the kingdom of God without going anywhere. It enters you. You enter it, it enters you. And then paradise appears. And you do that forever. Ain't a bad deal, is it? I can't, the more I think about it, the more we should charge $1 billion for that. $1 billion. We should at least get 1 billion for this. Look at this guy, these guys. They get billions for cheating everybody, lying to them and cheating them and all that stuff. Here we're telling the truth. We should get at least $1 billion for telling the truth, right, Lolita? But then we would have no customers. Because our customers are usually the ones ripped off by Bill Gates, you know? You know, hey man, we got to be the Robin Hoods, man. But we don't need. But I'm sorry, man. Stealing from Bill Gates with all his billions, that ain't gonna cut it, man. I gotta steal from Krishna. We gotta rob the really rich, right there, Lolita. We rob the rich, and there's only the real rich. That's all phony rich, man. That's dirty rich, man. We go clean rich, man. We got riches, the riches of tasting the holy name, man. Power up, man. Give some good truth to the world. Spoonful of truth makes the merry go round. The what does it go round? Something go round, go round. Sound of music. A spoonful of truth makes your life happy. How does that go there, Amy? Yeah, truth is valuable, man. People don't know what truth is. Nobody's speaking it. They're speaking, you go look on the internet. Oh, the glories of money, the glories of becoming rich materially, like Tony Robbins. Oh, you have great business, man. Make a lot of money. Come here, give us a lot of money first. And then we'll hook you on coming to these courses, otherwise you'll deflate. I remember I used to go to these things. I go to these things and I feel hyped up and oh wow, I feel like $1 million. And then a few days later, oh, I gotta go spend some more money for the course and get all hyped up again. See? Well, I got bad news for you guys. Bad news and good news. You want to hear the bad and good news at the same time? The bad and good news is you're going to get hooked on this also. You're going to have to come here every day also and get juiced up, and you're going to love it, man. That ain't going to cost you anything, unless you want to leave a donation. Of course, we got to put our little thing up here occasionally. Yeah, there you go. Anybody wants to, I haven't done this in a few days. Oops, where's it going? Show. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're not opposed. I don't no opposed to donations. If you want to leave something, what happened there? What happened to this? There you go. Yeah, but it doesn't cost you anything. You come here, you get juiced up, and then nice, a nice freebie. Yeah, same thing happens there. You got to pay, and all you get is a material thing that comes and goes. You're going to die. Your riches are going to go, and you're going to get another body because you get all addicted to fruitive activity. And you got to come and do it again. Here we get addicted to the glories of the holy name of God, man, and relish true nectar, true happiness, excessive happiness. Like that guy across the street, my friend over there, he says, man, you're the happiest person I ever seen. You're right, man. You also want to be like this? Or you want to just the mode of goodness? He's got, I'm happy. Some people in our Sangha are also happy. I'm happy. What do I need ecstasy for? I don't know. It's an extra. It's the upgrade. I like upgrade, man. I don't like to work on less. I like the more. That's called spiritual greed. That you want the highest spiritual experience and taste. You want what the Lord loves, the highest. Doesn't He want the highest? He says, "I love Vrindavan. I never want to leave. I don't leave Vrindavan." Matter of fact, when I seem to go, I just send this other form, Dwarka Krishna to go, and I stay here. I just go and fool everybody. Put that form out there. He can do it, man. He's miracle man, right? He can do anything. Oh, he actually, we know when we're liberated from this body, you can actually do the same thing the Lord does. You can manifest different bodies and different leelas and all that stuff. Did you know that? Isn't that amazing? And everybody else is stuck here, back again and again and again and again. 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 Until you meet the liberated soul. You meet the person that comes here to deliver the world. Okay? No, and if you do that and you stick around and you really want to be delivered, then Krishna delivers himself to you, and then you help deliver others. You work for the for the highest corporation in the universe instead of your self-interest. See, that people here, they're in their self. I'm just here for me and my family, and they're all mundane. See, the whole family, everybody, so that they're all interested there. The woman wants the bangles, and the big nice house, likes to clean it, and you're the man, the breadwinner, to go out and get this fit. Oh no, you're not. You don't have time to have the bread of life, man. You just work your ass off to give bangles to your wife, and the food in the mouth for the children, and they get hooked on Big Pharma. You give them their shots, and they all get sick all the time. I was one of those. I had all my shots. I was sick all the time. I had tuberculosis as a kid. Oh yeah, always had bladder infections, all kinds of shit. And you think it's normal for a baby to do? No, it's because of these things. And they want it that way. Why do you think there's all the doctors and all that stuff, man? For self-generating bodies. It's because of them. It's because of Maya tricking you because we believed in her. Our parents believe in the Maya, and we believe in governments. Whole government tell us what to do. There are mothers and fathers and all that stuff here in the world, and the Lord provides the government. He's behind everything. Yeah. All the way up, and even the government is your gurus there, in religion. And they're not a very good government. Ultimately, you end up saying, man, there's something wrong with this Pope. There's something a bit poopy about this Pope. Something a bit poopy about these gurus. Why, is there something more to God instead of some external ritual all the time? After a while, you're just like, okay. Can you imagine doing Tai Chi? They do kind of a similar thing like they do in religion. The master says, okay, you just hands on, hands off. Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. But the difference with a real master, eventually you see what's going on. You see what that was for. But in religion, never do until you meet where the person who introduces you how to surrender to God. See, all that religion is leading you to the real master. That's just the fakes, the stand-ins. See, the false. It can't be perfect. If there's some putana in somebody, they can't be perfect. They don't know what empowerment is. They're faking it. And then you go to a person, a guru. It's like going to a person asking their directions. Oh, can you lead me to New York City? And the person's never been to New York City, and they say to you, "Oh yeah, yeah, no problem, man. Just come hang out with me, and let me talk to you, and let me give you the directions. And it's going to cost you a little bit, man. You're going to have to work for me, and you're going to do all these things, and I'll get you to New York, no problem." And you believe it because you believe the government, who's also screwed you on some level. And you believe in these gurus to get you there to Vrindavan. And they're not in Vrindavan themselves. And nobody knows it. They just keep going to generation after generation till the Jesus comes and says, "Oh, well, anybody ready to listen?" No, no, I believe in the Pharisees. No, I'm going to do another lifetime. My Pharisee teacher told me it'll be many lifetimes before I'm delivered. I believe in that. Ooh, sounds like some similarities to here. You go to a guru, man. Anybody want the simple, clear truth? You go to a guru, what are you going for, man? Well, if a person is intelligent, and most people aren't, so we'll give you some intelligence on the silver platter, because I'm just a servant of the Lord. I'm going to serve up a dish of intelligence. Simple intelligence, common sense. You go to a guru in the Hare Krishna movement to get Krishna. That's intelligent. Yes, Gurudev, I want Krishna. I want to become Krishna conscious. Then they say, becoming Krishna conscious. I want to become conscious of Krishna. Okay? And when you go to them, and after 40, 50 years, and they never tell you how to become Krishna conscious, they never tell you the method, the real method. They never tell you the essence of how to become Krishna conscious. They don't give you the right teaching, the right truth, the right directions of how to become Krishna. They don't tell you what it is to become Krishna conscious. They get none of that. And here I just tell you, oh yeah, when you want to become Krishna conscious, all you need is devotion. And that's what we do here. Devotion, prema bhakti. But my guru said, "No, many lifetimes." Well, again, he says what he says. I say what I say. And he says what he says, and he's up to his word. Nobody I seen in the Rhythmic group got prema, because he said, "No prema for you. No prema for you." He's good for his word. Good to his word. And here we say, well, prema for most. If you really want it. Yeah, and if you really get serious, devotees here that have prema are very serious. You're steady, serious. They love it. Krishna knows your heart. Yeah, now that's a pretty good deal. You get what's being said. You get the word. So Narayan Raj was true to the word. Oh, I'm sorry, prema, many lifetimes. And here, could be this lifetime for many people. You can get it. Better deal, isn't it? Why do you get it? Because what did Jesus say? The truth will set you free. You get the truth. You can have it because the mercy of Lord Caitanya is here. Even the books describe the mercy of Lord Caitanya. Jesus took the mercy described even in the Old Testament and extracted that and gave it to the world and delivered them. St. Paul did the same thing. He extracted the essence. You can read his letters. He would extract the essence from the Bible and preach it, and people got the Holy Spirit. That's how it works. Guru Hari Das does the same thing, doesn't he? I extract the essence from the books of the Vedas and the Bible and preach it, and people get what? Prema. See? The Lord empowers my eyes to see these things like he empowers anybody that has his true grace. So you come here asking directions how to get to Krishna, on the way to Krishna. You're on your way to Krishna. Do you really want to get there? You want to get there quick without a lot of trouble? Well, come here. I'll tell you the essence. Is that a bad deal? Huh? Tell you that, oh, you need prema? Doesn't that even make sense if you read Prabhupada's books for a while? Doesn't it say you need devotion and real devotion? Here will not only teach you about the symptoms of devotion, the symptom will show you the symptoms of devotion. You can see we're hands-on experienced devotees, prema bhaktas, the big brothers and sisters here. Hands-on. You can see what it looks like with your own eyes. Looks like to have a temple illuminated by prema. Where do you see that? Hey, Acharya Dave, let us see you do that one. You spent your time practicing the piano? I spent my time practicing these pure devotional principles. These guys, they impress everybody. Oh, look how good. He must be a real guru. He plays the piano so nicely. Oh, he's got a big PhD on the wall. He must be a pure devotee. But don't go to Goahari, man. He's got just a t-shirt. Look at his external dress, man. Look, he doesn't even know how to play the piano, man. No tila. Oh, and nobody cares about him in the official organizations, the government of religions. They all don't like him. They don't agree what he says. He's independent. He doesn't follow what we say. He doesn't obey us and comply. Why? You think I'm just a rebel? No, I'm not a rebel at all. I'm very compliant. I comply with the essence of the absolute truth. That's what I do. And anybody want to comply with that? Hey, man, the result is great. You'll be the happiest. People come up to you. You're the happiest person I've ever seen. Oh, you're the most peaceful person I've ever seen. I used to have people tell me that. Oh, you're the most peaceful person. I went to one of these people that were perceptive. There was in this one of these consciousness raising groups, and they said, "You're really peaceful." I was into Krishna at the time. Yeah, I got my I got the personification of peace. I rubbed shoulders with. Yeah, that's how we stay peaceful here. Hey, man, we'll come and introduce you to where all of this comes from, everything, and you'll be at peace because he's at peace with it. You know, all this stuff that's going on. He's not rattled. He's the controller of all this. Yeah, I wish I could get up some energy to fight, this, but I can't because it's all orchestrated. Ultimately, I see the ultimate. I see the purpose. There's peace in that, there's, okay, and then I just do the part, I can assist the Lord, and you can also, because you're here, you can assist the Lord in where this is all going and why he's empowering the demons. It's his energy. He could stop Bill Gates' heart anytime. Why does he keep these old geezers going? These George Soros. You ever look at the guy? The guy looks like he's 108 years old. He's still going and enthusiastically, just destroying everything. Same thing. What's his name? Charles Schwab or something with Carl Schwab. Carl Schwab. The guy's an old geezer, man. He's still going, man. Enthusiastic to shape the world into a pretzel. Yeah, why is the Lord doing it? See, well, there's a reason. Because he's chasing them over here so he can liberate quite a few. Yeah. Yeah, people you almost have to be forced to show them how terrible this is. The cycle of birth and death. It's good. That hey, this is where it's all going. Could you imagine you spend the whole life and it's wonderful, right? It's like heaven here for you. It's like heaven. Everything's going along great your whole life, and then you die. You're still not free, right? And you thought, well, God, I thought it was always going to be heaven. And you come back, and it's maybe heaven again for you. And then you go again, and you die, and you come back, and there's always, even in heavenly stuff, is suffering here, and that always got problems. Everybody problems, not too good, always, and you got a material body, and material. You get a cold, it's miserable, the flus, this disease and that disease, even in heavenly consciousness, and it's okay, you can deal with that, and then you die, usually a miserable death. But one life like this, all of a sudden it's not good, man. You got tyrants, taking control. We're lucky we're living through tyrants are taking in control. And all of a sudden, oh, my dream pops. It's like, whoa, is there anything more than this? Am I going to be? That's when people start turning to God or try to find out who that God is. But the Pope ain't going to tell you. These gurus ain't going to tell you either. They don't know who the real God is, but we do, don't we? And we prove it. Anybody want to know who the real God is? Hey, man, he's a great guy and gal. He's the transcendental transgender. He's he's both. He's Radha and Krishna combined. Lord Chaitanya. They're all in together, and he wants to give that to you. He wants to give himself. If you get Lord Chaitanya, that means you get them both. You get Radha and Krishna inside, and you can worship like he did. You'll be relishing mellows like he did. You will cry and laugh and everything like he did. You expound on very deep truths like he did. You'll liberate souls like he did, and Nityananda, and all their real devotees who had the real mercy. Man, all that came from just the dancing dog. Go ahead. I don't want to extract too much.
Super, Guru. Super. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Gora Sundara.
Yeah, and that's what we teach here, how to offer your respectful obeisance to Lord Chaitanya, not just in name only, but in substance, to tell you, to teach real knowledge. See? By the word of the real associates of Lord Chaitanya acting as spiritual master and acharya, that's what you get. How to identify who you're paying obeisances to, who that God actually is. Otherwise, it's just a name only. You just pay, you don't even know. You pay, you know how many devotees for 40 years, not really devotees yet until devotion awakens, but we'll call them devotees. You'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I highly doubt it. But you're practicing, okay? They do this for 40 years, pay their obeisances to the gurus, pay their obeisances to the deities, but they don't even know what they're paying their obeisances to. They don't know who. They don't know who they're paying their obeisances. They don't know the nature. See, nature like his own, like I read, one attain a nature like the Lord's. But then, what is that? They know your gurus can't even tell you that. They don't know it themselves. That's why they do external bhakti and you do external bhakti. We know and we teach it. Got the order of even Prabhupada to teach it and the blessing of Krishna to teach it. What is the nature of Krishna? Well, let us show you first. You come here. The nature of Krishna is raging ecstatic, man. Hard to contain. Gives you excessive happiness. You can see that with your own eyes of the devotees. Yeah, the Lord shine. You can see the shining aura of devotees here because of tasting that amazing happiness. You will see a happiness you don't see in this world. More excessive, more juicy, more lively. You'll see knowledge that comes from those devotees that you don't see in this world. Have you heard any of this anywhere? Have you heard any gurus preaching like this? These are scripture type preaching. That's why they don't understand the scriptures. And those who are still blinded as their poopy popiness, their Phariseer type baloney, and their speculations, they also don't see this because they don't even see their scriptures. They're blinded by their desire to be something, to look like something, to attain something that they don't have in the wrong way. Many of them are contaminated. They want to be like God or Guru. Being to desire to be Guru is actually just the step down version of trying to be God. Same idea, same mentality. You want control over people, like because the Lord has it, you want it. That's kind of an envy of God. The Lord has. I also should have. Yeah, Tamal Krishna had that. I already heard stories. He had the same thing about Prabhupada. When somebody was glorifying Prabhupada, he says, "Well, what about me? I I have disciples sometimes like that. What about me?" But I get him through that. He never got through it. Yeah, these are your gurus, man. Hypocrisy, man. It's hypocrisy. I remember when he said, he went and admitted, well, you can hear his own voice right on tape, and people are just like they are now, sheeple. They have sheeple in religion, and you sheeple, religious sheeple, man. Are you ready? Are you tired of that? Or you want to go to your slaughter, man? Well, go line up there and listen to your Acharya Dave telling you to go get your shot. You want to be that kind of thing? Yeah, Tamal Krishna, right on tape. I remember. And they said, here, listen to this tape of Tamal. And he says, actually, Prabhupada never like this. He never told us to be Kurus. He told us to be Rhythmics. I got it on tape. You can even listen to the recording, man. And still, sheeple. No, we can't. That'll blow our thing. We want to believe in illusion. We want to believe in hypocrites. And then later on, he says, no, actually, it wasn't when they paid him off and said, well, will you come back in? See, they were going to get rid of him because he was always a kind of a prick. Really, you ask people who know, man, the guy was a controlling dude, man. They didn't like it. Prabhupada wanted to send him to China to get rid of him. Oh, go to China, it'll keep you busy. A lot of people over there because he was causing so many. Anyway, and these are your worshipable persons. That's why they don't get anywhere, these people, because it's mundane, man. What are you going to do? You worship a mundane person, get a mundane result, right? I don't care, even if he was a good person, doesn't matter. You still get a mundane result, worship even a Brahmin. See? You want a transcendental result, you have to learn the science of empowerment. You got to understand what that is. You got to understand somebody who knows the transcendental Lord beyond this universe and has the symptoms of that knowing. They don't try to cheat you and deceive you and lie to you like all these gurus had to do. How else could they become guru? They're always lying and cheating, deceiving you. They cannot help it, even if they're sincerely doing it. You're either in the truth or you're not. You're either a real guru or you're not. To a real guru, you come to the Hare Krishna movement to be delivered to Krishna. You want to go to God. And they can't get you there. They don't know who that God is themselves. That's hypocrisy. They can't help it. They can sincerely not know. but still you don't know. Like a guy, he speeds across the crosses a red light, and the rule is you don't cross the red light, and you cross, and he's a very sincere person. He's very honest, in the world, he's worldly honest and everything. And the cop comes, "Zzz, hey man, I got to give you a ticket, but I'm sincere, you know. But so the cop says you crossed the red light, you did the wrong thing. Got to give you a ticket. No, no, I'm sincere. See, that's what people being gurus. You crossed the red light, man. You crossed the line. You shouldn't be taking worship. If you do that, you're going to be corrupted and degraded like everybody else that doesn't deserve. These politicians, they in Kali Yuga, they don't really deserve their jobs. They're crooked, they lie and corrupted, easily corrupted. And they don't care. They become psychopaths. They don't give a shit about you. They're killing the whole population practically, and it's like nothing to them. You're just cattle and sheep because their masters are like that. And people are like cattle and sheep. If you're in the Maya, you're basically cattle. You're less intelligent because you believe in illusions. You believe in Maya and you won't listen over here. I tell you who God really is. I show you who God really is. I show you what real devotees are. I show you all these things and you don't care. Well, you believe the Maya. Believe religious leaders who can't take you to Vrindavan. Believe in the politicians who can't give you a good life anymore. That's the Lord's illusion, all the way up in religion. Even the holy book says, abandon all varieties of religion and surrender to me. Well, we teach you how to surrender to that big me. The big me is Krishna. He encompasses all of us. He's transcendental. He's got the counterpart. He's got love inside him. That love can be inside you, which reveals the true nature of the Lord. Otherwise, nobody knows. This path of Chaitanya Charitamrita is nice and cleanly chalked out. I love preaching it. People need to hear this knowledge. None of these gurus that I've seen are teaching the grace of Lord Chaitanya and distributing that grace. Nobody but here. And nobody can prove me wrong because nobody comes. Open challenge year after year, and nobody will step forward because they can't do it. They can't show what we show. They cannot practice what we practice. They cannot understand what we understand. We're like orators in this big coliseum of blind and deaf people. But out of those peens there's a few out there that they had just their ears pop open and the miracle happens, and then they, oh wow, I actually heard something. Wow. Oh, I actually see. Wow, look at those ecstatic symptoms on those devotees, man, on that stage, man. Otherwise, you're dancing and you're performing before a bunch of blind people. That's what Jesus did. He performed 1,000 multitudes. And he did his performance before blind and deaf people. And then he went his way and they all went back home and got in their mundane lives. Yeah, go ahead. Read on.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances and to Ajayatacharya, who is very merciful, and also to that great personality, Gadadhara Pandita, the learned schooler. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Srivas Sakura and all the other devotees of the Lord. I fell down to offer them respect I worship, I worship their lotus feet. And by remembering the lotus feet of Praja Tattva, a dumb man can become a poet, a lame man can cross mountains.
See, that's the empowerment. You see, I pay my obeisances to all these devotees of Lord Chaitanya. So people are doing that in religion now. Oh, they're doing it to the book. They read those verses and they pay their obeisances to these devotees. But they don't know who they are really. Nobody's teaching them the qualities of these devotees. They know who's very merciful. Lord Advaita is very merciful. They don't know what that mercy is. They don't know what that mercy that he was given to others. It's not explained. And then they meet the real devotee and they won't give respectful obeisances to that devotee who is like those persons. Do you see how ludicrous that is? But that's what we're in. This is the world we're in. People pay respect in name only, worship in name only, but not in substance. That's why you see people come here and who recognize they get the goods. You get the goods here, man. You get the girl. You get the devotional girl, the pure girl. Yeah, that one. And then you get everything. If you get the girl here, you get everything. The girl always gets everything. The girl's behind everything. Even behind the presidents, it's the girl. What would Joe Biden do if he didn't have his wife, man? Even on that level. He can't even know where he's going. I see all the time she's helping him. And, oh, go this way, honey. Go this way. See, even in the world is like that. When I see this stuff, I say, hey, that's how it is. It's Radharani, man. And for Krishna, she's directing the show. He learns from her. He learns all about himself, even from her. He even says, Radha says it right there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can read the verse. It's really great. The gopi comes to Radharani and Radha says, where's Krishna today? Oh, he's out in the forest learning dancing. Oh, who's his master? Radha says. Oh, your image. Everywhere he looks, he sees your image. It's an image of you, and it's teaching him how to dance. How do we learn about Krishna? How do I know that? How do I understand these things? That's how it is for me. Devotion shows me everything. That's why I understand the Bhagavad Gita 10:10 verse and why I love it so much. To those who worship Krishna with love in ecstasy. Oh, that is so conclusive. Hey, Acharya Dev, do you worship the Lord with prema bhakti? See, I give them, Krishna gives them the real understanding. Are any of you gurus out there have prema? Because you'll have the real understanding and to get not only yourself back, but others too, if you end up empowered to be guru. Right? Because they have the right understanding and they give it to you. Am I not doing that now? Am I not sharing the right understanding with everybody about that verse? How important it is? How it's the essence of everything? I can just preach on that verse all day long and then tomorrow do it again. And again after that. And it would be perfect preaching. And we will never run to the end of the glories of Bhagavad Gita 10:10. You'll understand Guru Tattva, Rasa Tattva, Krishna Tattva, Radha Tattva, all the Tattvas, Lord Caitanya Tattva. There you go. There's your guide, man. The person has those qualities, the living devotee Bhagavat. They're that verse personified. They worship the Lord with loving ecstasy. They have the right understanding and they prove it. If you listen to them, you get the right directions to quick entrance to Vrindavan. We go like there. They just point. Whoa! There you go. No beating around the bush. No trying to look good. Well, I got to look like I know that I'm really guru. I can really take my disciples who are going, oh, Guru Dev, give me mercy. Give me mercy. Oh, deliver me, Guru Dev. All the best they got for you is pizza. That's the best. If not, eat lots of halva with lots of sugar in it, and that they might only be giving you that. Okay. Loving ecstasy, you can read the verse. Everybody is welcome to read the verse. I really encourage you to see and just ask yourself, has any of these gurus explained the verse like that to point the direct path? What real guru is? Does any one of those gurus have those? You can just let it go because it's mundane. What if you drop a mundane object, you think Krishna cares? There's no reason to feel guilt if you drop a mundane guru. If they don't worship the Lord with loving ecstasy, they don't have real knowledge. So what do you need them for? They don't have real understanding how to come back to Krishna. Therefore, what do you need that for? Just drop it. Go to those who can explain the verse perfectly, clearly, logically. Liberate you from ignorance. By their word, ignorance is destroyed. Wow, I understand the songbook today. God, 40 years with Jaipataka, and never understood the songbook. 40 years with Radhana, never understood by his word ignorance should be destroyed, because that wasn't destroyed. I thought I could go to any guru who just has a rubber stamp to get me into Vrindavan. I didn't know you need prema bhakti, like the verse says in Bhagavad Gita 10:10. Loving ecstasy is transcendental, man. I didn't know I had to see the symptoms that loving ecstasy is in that person's temple of his body, that their transformations, boy, it's all in the books, and I never saw it. I never understood it. I was singing the songs, reading the books. I never understood these things until I met a personification of those verses. That person, that means God is actually, Radha and Krishna and Lord Caitanya are actually living in the body of that person. That is the only way you can become these verses. No one else can. That is the real degree. Not some paper thing on the wall, some from a mundane school. That's the PhD, is the Lord himself. We're PhDs. Zillions of PhDs comes from him. Zillions of the ignorance of being a PhD. It's ignorant knowledge of what? PhD, all this bullshit you put in your head in school? That makes you an important person? Can you imagine you're filled with this knowledge and fools think, wow, he's a PhD. I'm saying that for any PhD out there. You fill your head with all the knowledge to get that PhD. It's all ignorance. Oh yeah? Does it tell you about the glories of devotional service? The glories of being a real devotee with real bhakti, with worshiping the Lord with tears in your eyes? Not even in this kind of religion. They teach the value of worshiping the Lord with tears in your eyes. They teach you the value of hiding tears if you have any. What value is in that? Oh, you shouldn't show what it looks like to worship the Lord with sincere attachment. Don't show that. No, don't show that. Show that you've got nothing and you're just a stone. Don't show the intimate worship of the Lord and attract anybody to that level of worship. Well, that time is over, man. That kind of bullshit is gone, at least here. We're here to teach you, hey, man, how the glories of worshiping the Lord like the Lord did 550 years ago. That's why he came. Didn't he come to show us how glorious it is to worship the Lord in intimacy and ecstasy on the level of spontaneous devotion? No, we're here to do that. Okay? And if you're not interested, you're all blind. I don't care, man. You guys, you think you're smart, you think you're intelligent, gurus or followers out there in ISKCON or any group, and this essence of all essences available, the real deal is really here. You can see it with your own eyes, and you can't see it. You're still blind as bats. You just in false ego, and you're gonna die blind. You're gonna die with these coverings. because you can't see reality. Reality is here, where you want to go, but you don't even know you want to go. But that's the purpose of Krishna consciousness is to become a devotee, a real devotee on the stature of liberated souls. And that's what we do here. People are becoming very quickly liberated souls. And nowhere else, no other group, you see any of these symptoms. They're all just rule and ceremonial, ritualistic followers of the Vedas or religion. Very few understand what it is to be in a liberated condition. Well, you got to be attracted, like the devotees in the spiritual dimension, of Vaikuntha and beyond, Vaikuntha and Vrindavan. You have to be deeply attracted to Krishna. And the only proof of that in this world is the name of the Lord. How attracted are you to the name of the Lord? Do you have feelings awakened? Krishna and Radha awakened in your heart and manifesting those excessive, exquisite symptoms, like are in the spiritual dimension. That's why they have to come here to show us this. That's why Vrindavan had to come here. And it only showed a few people, right? That's why the Lord says, "Oh, let me show publicly this Vrindavan. Let everybody see how glorious it is to be in a liberated condition. Otherwise, you're in a non-liberated condition. Who wants to live a life non-liberated? Who wants to stay in jail? You got to be crazy to want to stay in jail, but people do. Just like in the government, you can see the same bullshit. People, oh yeah, what do you want us to do? Well, we want you to lock down. Oh, okay. Let me comply. Oh, I just get my happiness complying to stay in jail. Yeah, we're here to get people. You want to come out of the jail of the cycle of samsara, birth and death? Come here, get attracted to the transcendental name of Krishna to the point of tears and ecstatic worship, and you're a free bird forever. That's what we do here. Nothing less. Don't come here if you think, well, the goal of my life is to be ritualistic, a ritualistic Brahmin, a rule follower. I just want to spend my whole life putting flowers on the deities like my ex-wife. I just want to do that, forget about the Sankirtan movement. Forget about liberating souls like we're doing. I just want to do that external thing to the point I give the whole thing up and I leave. See, she can't do it. She can't live without it. So she just becomes mundane because you have to have God, man, in your heart. Go ahead, Lalita.
By remembering the lotus seed of the Panchatattva, a dumb man can become a poet. A lame man can cross mountains, and a blind man can see the stars in the sky.
See, remembering the mercy of the Panchatattva. See, remembering, what is that mercy, man? That mercy is prema. That mercy is the Lord's gift of prema through our Sangha or anybody else that is a real devotee of Lord Caitanya, but they're very few at this point. I mean, real devotee. If you're a real devotee of Lord Caitanya, you'll understand the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. You'll understand that is the foremost preaching. How do we know? Well, the devotee knows, and they read the verses that were preached in the past, like Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur. He's emphatically preaching the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. That's why Lalita loves reading that and laughs and cries, because the Lord loves that. Yes, yes. And the more you get that, the more you realize, oh, that hasn't stopped. That's matter of fact, you'll feel that. You become smart. You become empowered when you're preaching the mercy of the Lord. But How can you understand that mercy? Because these gurus can't preach it to you. They don't know themselves. They also have to come here and get that mercy of Lord Caitanya to preach it. They got to get it and feel how it is. Wow, it's liberated me. Wow, it's given me feelings beyond material happiness. You have to be able to relate. You got to be a recipient of that mercy. And the only way, if you don't have it already from a previous life, and most people don't, you have to go to those who got it. It was like that 550 years ago. You had often the Lord empowered sudras. And if you were an aristocratic Brahmin or guru with followers and all that, and you saw a real devotee who had the mercy of the Lord, you had to go to them to get it. It's always been like that. Even with Jesus, it was like that. Doesn't matter how intelligent you are, how big a scholar you are, how many PhDs you got. If by good fortune you can recognize, well, that is the goal of Krishna consciousness, is to be a prema bhakti, to be a spontaneous devotee like that Sudra over there, to chant the holy name with great ecstatic devotion like that Sudra over there. That's what was going on then. It's going on now again. Hey, that's why I get their attention over here. Hey, you guys, you want prema? Do you know that this is the goal of life, is what you see in this Sangha and you don't see in any other Sangha? We have the goal of life and we distribute the goal of life. Anybody, any guru out there with any ears? Go ahead, Lalita.
Well, material intelligence is a gift, but transcendental intelligence is a gift as well. It has been given to you by the Lord, and you've got to distinguish one from the other. It's not because you're materially intelligent that you will be transcendental intelligent. Not at all.
Well,
It's
yeah. And there's actually a little bit of difference there. Material
yeah.
intelligence is not a gift because you got to work for it. You got to study. See, you got to study. It's more discipline involved. But
Yeah, but
spiritual
some kids study more easily than others.
doesn't matter. It's because of a previous life, but still, you got to study for it. So if they may have impressions from previous lives, so but still, it's a thing that you got to work for it. See, spiritual intelligence is different. It comes from ecstatic worship, from bhakti, from devotional worship. Lord, you get boom revelation. Then either it comes like down like this, or even you look at the verses and they shine with the essence of truth. See, because of devotion. See, devotional intelligence. See, the real followers of Lord Chaitanya had that. That's how they wrote their books or preached. See, it comes from that kind of worship. These other prayers, everything's more hard. Without the mercy of the empowerment of the Lord, speaking is harder. You got to have notes, teleprompters, all kinds of shit like that, dude. Just you need props. You need this. You need to look good. You need everything, even in religion. To be a teacher or a guru, you have to look good because if you're not looking good, people lose faith in you. You notice people don't lose faith here, even though externally I'm not looking the part of an authority here on spiritual knowledge, right? But you see the internal thing. Oh, you're looking at that. So, we used to do stuff like the external thing of Vamsidas, who was a saint. He didn't want to be bothered by the public because people, if they believe in him and they're external, they just want to control and they have a lot of stuff and they're not ready. So he would only have like about 5 sincere people who really got him and really sincere in his tent. 5 people. He had probably a big tent. Maybe big man. I don't know how big, but anyway, they like to be in that tent talking about Krishna. And so on the outside of his tent, see on the outside, he put fish bones. And so people they go, well, we heard there's a saint over here, and so they go to the tent and they saw the fish bones. They thought, oh, he's not a saint. We don't believe in him. See, that meant that they go. So yeah, he didn't want to be bothered. That's more or less why I preach like this. I preach in this thing. I don't want to be bothered. I want people. Krishna knows who's supposed to be here, you know, and I want to preach to those kind of people, those who hear from their hearts. You know, some they run across as preaching, and they appreciate it as much as I do and you do. So we keep it clean here. Isn't it nice? You notice the Lord would kick out the insincere people. If they're renunciates, you can tell who they are. They're if that brahmachari had the right mentality, but a lot of them that believe in their renunciation, like the Narayan Raj group, they believe in that path. They believe in their austerities is going to get them to Krishna. And they won't believe in the mercy of Lord Caitanya, which I preach. That's why I stay juiced up. That's why I stay ecstatic. Because the Lord loves it. What he loves, I love now. I realize, hey man, you like this, man, I'm into it. Gets me excited because you're excited first. I'm excited. This is what we're teaching here, how to have an intimate relationship with a personality like that. The excitement of the Lord is excessive. The happiness of the Lord is more than human beings. He wants to give that to us. It's a special Kali Yuga. So I say, you guys, wake up. Anybody out there? Wake up. If you're meant to wake up, wake up. Come here. You're going to get something you can't get anywhere else that I've seen. I've been around India many times. Lived in Vrindavan once for 3 years. Can you imagine what I saw in 3 years? The time I even built a house over there. In Radhakund, even. Glad to get rid of it, man. Oh, man. When you build something in places like that, all these guys, their mentality, oh, they're so crooked and corrupt. See, it's people, they get opulences, material opulence, they become corrupted. You got to be a real devotee with real devotion. You got a position and it goes to your head. You can't help it. It's the head of the snake. But with devotion, then it's the bite is taken out of it because you know it's real and you're close to the Lord. He keeps you protected. The devotee is always running to Krishna. That's why we do the same, right? Keep running to Krishna. If I get too external out looking around doing stuff or everything, and I can feel like, hey, a little fear coming up, creeping up. Turn to Krishna. This is what the Vrindavan devotees did. They kept turning to Krishna. Anything fearful, just turn to Krishna, and He take care of it. That's being protected by Krishna. That's what we teach here. I mean, it's so much greater, man. Being protected by Krishna. Otherwise, Maya's protection is false. It's temporary. It doesn't work very well. Never did. A lot of times, she's cheating you about protection. She lies a lot. Maya is she's not a good master. And your people are finding that out now. God, I thought I could have faith in these politicians. I thought they were thinking about me. I didn't know they can give a fig about me. Or these gurus, I thought I could have faith in them, and I thought they really cared about me. But they really don't. Unless you're a liberated soul, you can't really care for the living entities. That's why you have beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. That was Jesus. It's just hypocrisy in that. They can't care about you. They are not compassionate. It's all false. Until you're liberated by love of God, people don't know what compassion is. Compassion is to tell the truth as it is, without compromise, even though most people will misunderstand. To ecstatically chant the holy name before the world, even though most people misunderstand. Because see, that only if you know what the compassionate Lord knows, can you do what He does in this world and deliver it. That's why He came as Lord Caitanya, to quick deliverance. That's why people quickly delivered here. I'm sorry, I got to toot the Lord's horn, man. That same mercy is here now. Why not? It's true. We demonstrate it all the time.
Actually, they speak about the holy places, but those holy places are completely polluted by the atmosphere of the people who are living there. I felt it. I
Yeah.
felt it when I was there.
Yeah, it's a consciousness. That's why, it's like when Lord Chaitanya was going around chanting in ecstasy, he was looking for Vrindavan. And Nityananda misled him, so called misled him, didn't really. And so Advaita, Lord Chaitanya says to Advaita, Nityananda cheated me. He misled me away from Vrindavan. And Lord Advaita said, no, wherever you are is Vrindavan. Look, you're chanting in ecstasy. That's Vrindavan mood. You're distributing Vrindavan mood. You're the moving Vrindavan. Otherwise, people would have to go to Vrindavan to get that mood. But the thing is, you don't get it because it's slow, because nobody's manifesting. You get it faster from the living devotee. See, it's like, these are the Raganuga principles. You learn here and nowhere else. I teach you what the Leela shows. The devotees, the ecstatic Raganuga spontaneous devotees, they enter Jagannath Puri, a holy place, right? You're supposed to go to Lord Jagannath first. Where did they go? They went to Lord Chaitanya first. They went to the moving Vrindavan. It's more powerful. It's more pleasing to God to go to either him or his devotee, which is him in the form of a devotee. That's why people make quick advancement here. You're doing what the Lord's, his essential desire pleases him great. Oh, you're going to my devotee? Oh, you have this problem, that problem, or you're not right in your head and everything. But just simply by going to my devotee, you get blessings. We have a devotee, he has some problems, new guy. But he even says, wow, when I come here, I feel relief. That's Krishna taking away his miseries because he has some faith. Trying. See? More mercy does that guy get than all these perfect, so-called perfect followers of the Vedas, these big scholars. But a person could have mental pride, but they have in their heart they feel faithful in this. People don't know the essence. See, you come here, you understand. Wow, you mean I was basically I should have went to a guy with a T-shirt to learn the real science of Krishna consciousness. I didn't know that. I thought you had to look good. You're conditioned by even Maya, all the way up into religion, conditions you. Oh, your guru has to look good, externally look good instead of internally look good. I think we're looking really good here, man. I think the knowledge here is fantastic and the best of all knowledges. The feelings here are amazing, man. This is the way you're supposed to feel. Blissful and ecstatic, man. The only depression you should feel is where is Radha and Krishna? Now that's an ecstatic depression, man, because Krishna come really fast to take it away. Instead of being depressed, I'm so depressed because I don't have my sense gratification. Biden told me to lock down and I don't like it. I'm depressed because I'm lonely. I don't have any mundane person to associate with, and and we can sit there and talk about the weather and mundane things that are so important to me, and I'm just so lonely. Oh, I'm so addicted to that. I just want to hear some more mundane topics about the world. That's what it is, man. You come here, things change. Your quality of life changes. You live an ecstatic life, happy life, a life of benediction, and you give that benediction to others. You liberate souls. You're a soul winner now. Go ahead, read on.
The education cultivated by so called learned scholars who don't believe these statements of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like like the tumultuous croaking of frogs.
See, you don't believe these statements? What are those statements? Nobody ever asks. What are those statements you
What
don't
do
believe in? Everything you believe in.
you say?
Yeah. Everything you believe in is, oh, I can't get the mercy. It'll be many lifetimes before I get that mercy of Lord Chaitanya. I'll be many lifetimes before I can become a dancing dog, empowered to write a book like Chaitanya Charitamrita. Oh, many lifetimes, many lifetimes. I don't believe in the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, I'll croak like frogs. I'll croak like these gurus and these people giving classes on the internet, boring, just intellectual, all that. I'll just croak, croak, croak because I won't go where that mercy is. That mercy comes through the real associates of Lord Chaitanya who know the mentality of Lord Chaitanya and prove it. Oh wow, I didn't know 40 years in Krishna consciousness. I didn't know it was about getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, that I could actually get prema. Oh, I thought I would never be like my austere guru there, Radhanath, who lived in a cave. I thought I had to live in a cave and do big austerities and be a super devotee like him. If he is, I don't know. You know, he writes a whole book about his how great he is, basically. You know, because he did this and he did that, and oh wow, I heard her. You know, lady read that book. I didn't read the book, but she did, and she says, "Oh, I'll never be a devotee like because I got to be like him, and there's no hope for me." Yeah, you're right, because you believe that's a real devotee. No, no. Real devotee is getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, which we have and we preach and we distribute. It's real here. It's the real deal, no raw deal, real deal. But you don't believe this word? You don't believe this ecstasy you see every day? You don't believe this intelligence you hear? You don't believe the devotees' experiences that they're getting of prema bhakti? Well, then go out there until you do believe. How many lifetimes that takes? Go out to these dry gurus who, oh, you'll never be like us. You why? Well, you barely even get an email from these guys. That will be the best you do. Oh, I got an email from them once in a blue moon. But you're not going to get prema because they ain't distributing it. They don't discuss it. They ain't got it themselves. It ain't something they're interested in. We're the proof of that. If they're not here, they're not interested in prema, man. All we do is plaster prema all over Facebook. Prema, prema, prema. Oh, thousands of videos with ecstatic chanting. I was listening to some of my own ecstatic chant. I want to see what you guys are feeling. It was like, woo! It felt shocks and stuff. I thought, oh, no wonder they're listening to this. I even listened to myself. Again, just hearing it. I was like, ooh, wow, man. Exciting. Yeah. I mean, even listening to Prabhupada's chanting was subdued. You know, they listen to the thing over and argues, sit up straight and all that. You should be, why wouldn't you listen to ecstatic, expressive chanting, man? You know, like here, why don't you make a video of the devotees chanting in ecstasy and plaster that all over the Facebook? They're plastering the sayings of Prabhupada, but nobody's much is plastered, but maybe Govinda, plastering our sayings here, which are upgrade the consciousness. It draws the devotees up to the next platform. Why not plaster these things? Or why keep everybody with about the glories of Varnashram Dharma from Prabhupada? How about the glories of ecstatic worship of the Lord so people go to the next level? Has Prabhupada's full approval. Why not get behind this mission? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Johan does this. He uses
Yeah,
those sayings and those pictures, and then he gives the comments.
yeah, like that. Yeah,
That's really good. That's really very very useful, actually.
yeah, yeah. Right
But
now,
to be
yeah. See, Prabhupada has all these servants out there, and they're all, putting the old Vaidhi thing up there, and we need more of this. need to make sayings and aphorisms and people going through the videos and taking out these amazing things, man, Um, yeah, and put them up, and so there's a distribution of this, especially while we're here. So if anybody people do that, go ahead.
To be honest, Guru Maharaj, I don't want to have a thick neck or show that I am this or that, but I feel the ecstasy in chanting of Srila Prabhupada when I hear him chanting.
Oh
Even in
yeah,
that little machine,
oh
even
yeah,
in that, I don't have it here, but Larita Madhava has one, and
yeah. Well, good. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, good. Yeah,
I hear
you
it there.
probably feel ecstasy in a lot of stuff. Well, he's an ecstatic person. Sit up's great.
He's really, I really, when in that chanting of Prabhupada, it's really, it
Yeah,
immediately works.
good. All right. Well, keep it up. Okay, read on.
Okay. Um, One who doesn't accept the glory. No. I read this already.
Read
Yeah.
it.
No.
Read it again.
One who does not accept the glories of the Panchatattva, but still makes a show of devotional service to Krishna, can never achieve the mercy of Krishna or
Yeah,
advance
yeah.
to
You
the
don't
ultimate.
believe in it when it's available, and you make the show. See, they're going around making the show, and they just keep the. Well, we're just going to show you the show, but it's not really the show. It's just a show. It's just like we're putting on an act. We're pretenders. We're pretending. See, that's the idea of pretender. See, it's not the real show of devotional service. See, the real show is the ecstatic show. See, showing that, hey, here, we've got the mercy of Lord Caitanya, we're here to distribute it. See, and they're all making a show of going through the motions, see, the rituals. You see the deities, the gorgeous worship and everything, but inside they're full of dead bones. There's no life in there. The life is the ecstatic worship of the deity. The name. That's why the devotees, all they need is the name. They don't need to go and make deities. I mean, they could if they want, but they don't have to. They could just worship the name. You know? See, otherwise the rest is just a show. So most people are just attracted to the superficial show of devotional service. This is the internal. We bring from the inside out. See, the internal worship, we bring it outwardly so people can hear about it. They can see that. This is a miracle. Gradually, people's eyes, the scales come off. Especially if you get to the point of developing some faith, and then you come and then you start to experience more. Here, go ahead.
Um, and he can never achieve the mercy of Krishna or advance to the ultimate goal. Formerly, kings like Jarasandha, the father-in-law of Kamsa, strictly followed the Vedic rituals, thus worshipping Lord Vishnu.
Yeah, you can't advance to the ultimate goal. See, if you just stay on that path, you'll never advance the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal of advancement is the actual devotee preaching the internal bhakti in this world. Isn't that what Krishna did in Vrindavan? He was preaching the internal bhakti in Vrindavan. He subdued that a little bit when he went to Dwarka. You didn't see the full thing. You would have to go to see the devotees there in Vrindavan to get that kind of bhakti. Okay? Otherwise, you wouldn't understand what it was. You need to get it from the devotee worshiping the Lord. Then you see, because it takes two. See, it takes Krishna and it takes the devotee. That's why you see Uddhava could not see that devotion because in Dwarka, because there weren't any devotees of the mentality of the Vrindavan devotees. They would know. They couldn't, he couldn't even know. So the Lord had to send them, oh, let me show you how they're worshiping me in Vrindavan. He sent him over there so he could see it. So how does that apply here? Oh, it's the same thing, man. You guys will be on reverence and doing the external show and doing the ceremonies another lifetime after lifetime after lifetime until the devotees come here and show you their way of worshiping that's different than on reverence. You got to see spontaneous devotional service. And what's being offered now is Lord Chaitanya's variety, which is Radha and Krishna's variety, which is this very deep, ecstatic, intimate worship of Vrindavan. And that's being shown here. Otherwise, these gurus can't show it to you. They're not in that mood. They're not worshiping the Lord like that. You have to meet somebody in that mood of Vrindavan and see that uncommon way of worshiping Krishna, which is very attractive to some people. Not to everybody. A lot of people think, "It's weird. No, just give me more like this. Let God be over there and we'll be here." Anyway, they know who they are. They know who wants this intimacy. Those who want this intimacy and ecstasy and the highest, the greatest thing that God loves himself. Yeah, some people are out there. They come into incarnation for that. And if anybody even comes here for a while, you'll change your mind. You'll think, "Oh wow, I didn't want that before. Oh, this looks really great, man. Look how happy these devotees are. I don't have this kind of happiness." See, you start to get spiritual greed just by being here. A lot of people, when they first come along, think, "Why? I don't know. Do I need this? I don't. I've never seen this before." Yeah, but then you hang out with devotees having a great time, having this kind of entertainment, and playing with Krishna, having a picnic with Krishna, you know, tasting the bread of life, with the butter on it and everything. Hey, man, this looks good. I think I also want this. See, then Krishna starts to help you. Yeah, go ahead there.
One who does not accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead is certainly a demon. Similarly, anyone who does not accept Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Krishna, the same Supreme Lord, is also to be considered a demon. It's still working here. If you don't accept the representative, if you don't accept Satchitananda, you're
Mhm.
actually a demon.
Yeah, that because the demoniac things comes out of it. That's what you see with the guru, who just this demon stuff comes out of them.
Yeah.
You go against the thing is you go against God, and but you won't get that opportunity unless the Lord or His devotees come here and start to express themselves. Otherwise, you won't know who they are. Like Prabhupada said, if you attain devotion, real devotion, prema, usually just go around and look like a neophyte, act like a neophyte, because most people won't believe you, and they'll go against you. It'll cause a commotion. But it's not always. It's like, well, go all right. Why aren't you following Prabhupada's order like that? Well, it's not always like that. It's the Lord inspires at a certain point. If by His will He'll inspire a devotee or order the devotee to go and to show what that devotion is, so that people can learn its value and its glories. That's what we do here. That's why, unless you're interested in actually learning from real devotees who have the real mercy, you're not even really started your Krishna consciousness yet. It really starts here. This is the real Sankirtan movement. You come here, you'll get attracted to the transcendental nature of Krishna. Otherwise, you're attracted to the external thing, the show, to make the show bottle. Everybody's on the outside, and external worship and the rules and the regulations and the external rules and regulations, not our rules. We have rules and regulations, but they're different. They're easier actually, more powerful too. So they were just external rules and regulated varnashram dharmas and etiquettes and just being nice. Inside is all this still stuff that needs to be purified, which can only be purified by getting the mercy of Lord Caitanya, which is the Lord giving himself to you. And then you're purified by the gardener himself. Remember the Jesus preaching? He said, I'm the true vine and my Father's the gardener. Now, people don't get the gardener activated in them until they meet the true vine, right? That's how it works. See, that's why that preaching, it's not just, well, my Father's the gardener, he's working in everybody. Well, maybe more or less and a lot less in most, because he's activated by the true vine or the true branch. And that makes sense. You see why it talks about our line being a branch. You need to find the branch that's connected to the trunk. Branch, vine, same thing. If you don't find that true branch of the living Chaitanya tree, you don't get life. You don't get that born again experience. You don't get that spiritual rebirth. The Krishna doesn't arise in your heart. Because Krishna even says, even the book says, the devotees that are like what I just described are the root from which I grow. I grow from that root of that devotee, from that vine, that branch. It activates me. See, that's why you got to hear the opinion, chapter 12, Adi Lila. The opinion of the spiritual master, the order of the spiritual master is the activating principle of spiritual. And if your guru is not one of those and there's some putana in them, they're being a false representative of Vrindavan because they're not a Vrindavan resident, you don't get that experience. They hinder it because that putana in them that's motivating them poisons real bhakti, doesn't it? Didn't she poison it? She was not a real representative. Come on, man, wake up. Any logical people out there? If you're not a resident of Vrindavan and you're acting as a guru representing Vrindavan, there's a little putana in you and a little poison. Little or a lot, depends. You see how that works? You got to meet the real resident of Vrindavan. And they prove it by how they worship the Lord. You come here, I'll teach you these things. Why not? The Lord teaches me, I teach you. That's how it works. You'll learn what is a resident Vrindavan, man. What is their beautiful countenance? How do they appear? What was going on behind that sealed Vrindavan is what you learn here. Well, Lord Chaitanya said, for a long time I had not given the gift of this bhakti to the people of the world. See, because he didn't give it in Vrindavan. When he disappeared, he said, I only gave it to the residents of Vrindavan. They only gave it to each other, shared it with each other, exclusive. For a long time, I have not given this to the people of the world. Well, how do you give it to the people of the world? Well, you got to open that Vrindavan mood. People got to see that kind of worship. See, even Uddhava had to go to Vrindavan to see that kind of worship. So, what is the difference between opening up the world's curtain and showing that whole Vrindavan mood to people in the world like we do? We're opening up Vrindavan, my friends. Okay, balk all you want, complain like Democrats, and say that we're this and we're that and we're that. It doesn't matter. We open the curtain so you can see Vrindavan. The door is open, the curtain's open, the show is going on. Barking dogs ain't gonna stop it. Names, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Go call Sahaja, it doesn't matter. We're doing the job. It's the truth. It'll work. It's been blessed by Prabhupada and Krishna. You've lost already, so you might as well just surrender. Come on, you gurus. Wave your white flags here and get this bhakti. And let's get on with the show of delivering the universe. My Lord is looking for workers. Anybody want a job? You want a real job? Hey, we'll make you Guru Dave, man. Real Guru Dave, actually delivering your disciples. We'll free you from Putana, free them from Putana. Everybody, you'll free them from Putana. But you got to get free first. You got to be the real resident of Vrindavan. That's the kind of preaching here now. This is in force, man. This is the Lord's will, is to have Vrindavan residents preaching. And we're here to make them. No excuse not to. The mercy of Lord Caitanya is here. We preach it, we show it, we demonstrate it. It is the greatest show on earth. Let's get with the real program, for God's sake. Actually, for your sake. He's already, well, if he's considered, yeah, bring me some friends, man. I want more friends. He's super greedy like that. He wants more.
He's
He
begging
wants
for
more
us.
friends. He's begging you. Come on, man. Appeal.
Yeah.
Oh, a charity day will teach you a better method than playing that piano. We'll teach you a better degree. You'll get a new degree, something you never knew before, not something you put on your wall and to give you like credibility in this world. We'll give you a new degree, a degree of devotion that you cannot even dream about, and it'll influence even the more intelligent people of this world, the most intelligent. The most intelligent, that intelligence is given to anyone who comes here. You could be a retard and you get the best of all intelligence, which is just to develop faith in this amazing grace here of Lord Caitanya coming through. That's intelligence, is just to be where the Lord is. What do you think? Aborigines were the most intelligent in Vrindavan. They lived a little bit outside Vrindavan, but they believed in Krishna. Now that was intelligent. They were Aborigines, just jungle people. Living in the jungles. They didn't follow any rules, nothing, but they had faith in the love of the gopis, man. They used to smear all that dust, the kumkum that was on their feet, on the ground, all over them. They go, they start laughing like mad women. Now that's intelligence. It's like, Evo, he comes in and play, oh, my mind, I'm negative, I can't help it and everything. But he gives a class about his guru and chants his guru's name in ecstasy. Tears and all that. Now that's intelligence. Where do you think he's going? This is the intelligence God gives. Otherwise, like St. Paul said, the intelligence and the knowledge of the world and worldly people is foolishness to the Lord. We teach how thou shows up. We teach you the ins and outs of that. Even Christians don't even understand what he was saying. Many. Oh, some maybe. But the intelligence is love of God that comes just naturally. And it's such so nice, man. Revelation, man. Just come, the Lord shows you all these things because of your intimate dealings with Him. Okay, another verse, a little bit more.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, unless people accept me, they will all be destroyed. There's
There
a
you
lot of
go.
when I speak more than when you speak, Guru Maharaj.
What?
There is a lot of echo when I
Oh,
speak
yeah. Okay, I can
through
fix it.
your mic.
Oh, yeah. Tell me if this works when I mute it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem, but it's for others. Yeah, now I don't hear it anymore. Lord Chaitanya thought, unless people accept me, they will be all destroyed. And thus, the merciful Lord, he accepted the sannyasa order. Thus,
Yeah,
he is.
see, unless people accept the Lord, see, but then people don't see, they need to know what it means to accept. They don't know this. They think by accepting his picture is accepting the Lord. See, a picture in the mind, the artists who write, oh, Krishna looks like this, Krishna looks like that, Krishna, but I'm accepting some picture, and he may not look exactly like that, actually. So they accept a picture, a visualization, or a speculation about that. See, that's why the Lord sends his representatives who represent him as he is. At some point, he'll do that. He must do that if you're going to be liberated. See, so now, see, the Lord was here, and he was here through his devotees. That same principle would, even while he was here, would uh, uh, um, apply to his devotees also, because they had the same nature as the Lord. They had the same nature, like Bhagavad Gita said, those who attain the same nature as me. See, that same nature as God is a transcendental nature, an ecstatic nature, you know, behavior like that, spontaneous devotion. See, so this is so applicable now because that nature is being expressed here in this sangha to the world. If you don't accept it, you're going to be destroyed by taking another birth. You'll die, and then you'll live again in a mundane life. Even in religion, you'll come back and maybe you be born a Brahmin or something, but you're still mundane. Look at Daksha. It was hard for him to accept Lord Shiva's transcendental nature, wasn't it? It wasn't easy. He fought, he did everything, and he's up in the demigod realm. Well, that same nature of Lord Shiva is also here in this Sangha. How can you compare yourself? Well, I'm sorry, man. Lord Shiva laughed and cried, so does Lalita. So does Johan. So do some others here. Same nature of the Lord, Shiva. Same nature of Lord Krishna, Lord Caitanya, Nityananda is here. Can you hear yet? You so-called gurus? You're no guru until you accept the nature of the Lord that's being expressed through our wonderful Sangha. We show you every day ecstatically worshiping. That's the nature of Lord Shiva. That's the nature of Lord Krishna. And you notice Lord Shiva didn't accept Krishna, and Daksha didn't accept Shiva. He was following all the rules and regulations like you guys out there, and you're not accepting the nature of Lord Shiva, which is ecstatic. Matter of fact, he criticized it just like you guys. You say the same thing as Daksha, man. He ain't good enough to be a nice Brahmin, but you criticize the transcendental nature of devotees. Oh, look at that Lord Shiva. He laughs and he cries. See, he's a madman. That was a glorification, Lord. He laughs and he cries. He's a transcendental madman. But he made it like it was bad. Isn't that what they do? Oh, look, Gohari and Lalita, they laugh and they cry. They're crazy. See, you guys are like dakshas. See? And we've got the transcendental nature. We're here to represent that. We're here to be the living Bhagavatams. You got to have what is the book Bhagavad and Devotee Bhagavad? You got Devotee Bhagavad means you see the Leela manifest before your eyes again. It's happening. It's in action, right? The same thing. You see the dakshas out there, you Vaidis out there, you ISKCON devotees, you Gaudiya Math and Samiti. That's you. You're on that side. And we have an action drama here. And we're here representing the Lord Shiva. See, we don't dress very nice. We don't look like you guys with the tilaks and all that. We don't follow all these ceremonies and rituals. We just ecstatically worship the Lord like Lord Shiva did, in ecstasy, crying and laughing like madmen and women. See, the Leela is alive again. It's jumped out of the book now. It's got to. Otherwise, people don't take it seriously. They got to know that they're in a Leela, man, of being in the process of being delivered, like Daksha. So everybody, put your goat heads on. Is it time for you to admit that you're goat heads, you're idiots, you're fools like us, but fools without the mercy until you acknowledge? Otherwise, you'll be destroyed. You'll take you have goat heads already and you don't know it. you're going to take another goat head birth again. See, Daksha was in the same realization, just like Krishna Das Kaviraj. I'm just a dancing dog and a fool. See, that was Daksha. I'm just such a fool, and I'm just a fool like this. But boy, I'm so glad that I can acknowledge that Lord Shiva represents the transcendental nature of the Lord. He was more than a demigod. He was like Lord Brahma, who also, in our universe, also understands the transcendental nature. That's why you worship them as devotees of the Lord, and you're better off in their eyes. See? Because if you just worship them as, oh, they're God, well, that's not completely conclusive. They don't really like that. They like to be known as servants of the Lord, the Lord of Lords. They like it better. They like that mood better because that's more true also. See, they're ecstatic. See, Shiva's ecstatic because he's thinking about the transcendental Lord, his Lord. See, so when this is conclusive truth, man, that's why one of the offenses to consider the demigods on the same level as Krishna or Vishnu. Actually, Krishna is better. See? That's offensive. It's still offense because it's not completely conclusive. But you can accept a real devotee in the right mentality on the same level because they're of the same nature as Krishna. If you do it like that, they say, well, this is a real devotee of the Lord. I say, this is my Lord coming as a devotee. They've been that accepted. I get my Lord God. My God comes through them. It's the word of God coming through them. That's why devotees like to hear from devotees who have that kind of mercy where the Lord has given himself to them and it's been accepted. Their application has been accepted. You want your application to be accepted quickly into this corporation? You come here. We'll interview you. And your application can be easily accepted here. So it's the same thing. If you don't accept the transcendental nature of the Lord, which is being preached and shown and demonstrated and taught about here, you will be destroyed because you're not accepting the spiritual nature. It is coming to you. It must come to you. You have to get purified here to enter the kingdom of God. That's why you're here. You got to get your clothes clean here. The washing machine is here. Go ahead, Lily.
So, if a person offers obeisances to me, even due to accepting me only as an ordinary sannyasi, his material distresses will diminish as he will ultimately get liberation.
See, they wouldn't do it when Lord Chaitanya was here because he was a Brahmin body, right? He came as a Brahmin, but he was ecstatic when it was fine when he was puffed, when he appeared puffed up, when he was like a proud scholar. Oh, they like that. That's why they like that in ISKCON, or God, especially Gaudiya Speed. They like this proud thing. They think that's the bhakti. They're okay with that because Brahmins they don't know any better. And then the Lord becomes ecstatic. They don't like that. They thought, oh, he's just, look at him, he's changed. Oh, we don't like this. What is this? He was better as a grave scholar. They couldn't understand the glories of that. So he took sannyas. See? And then he tried to follow the principles when he could. And they said, oh, you see, he's a sannyasi. See, so people just naturally respect sannyasis. See, it's smart. See? And they pay obeisance. He said, well, they're even though in their eyes, they're still blind. But they offer respects as a sannyasi. Oh, they'll diminish their miseries.
So, what's written here is if they had some affection towards him as a sannyas, he
Well, not
accepted.
necessarily affection, but just by the fact they pay obeisances to a sannyas because they're um, um, what do you call it? Just because they give honor to a sannyasi. So it's pretty kind of like gross level. Even though, so their unhappiness will diminish just by paying obeisances and respecting them as a sannyas. But can you imagine as your realization grows, then they have more feeling because more you have more surrender, see, more natural affection. See, is meant to continue. But people were, just like now, any way you can get them. This was Prabhupada's mood. If they would people just pay obeisances to him. Even one guy said, I don't know if I want to do this because I'm not feeling it. And Prabhupada said, well, just do it and the feeling will come gradually. So, I mean, if you're working on that level, I'm not working at that. Here it's got to come quick. You got to be ready for this. Okay, you had 50 years with Prabhupada. Okay, anybody ready for this? Or any of these groups, or with anything you're doing, or you're just coming from the world. Are you ready for this? Do you want this? Do you want this kind of increased intimacy? Um, yeah. So this is this is the more Nityananda preaching. He would preach to the lower classes, and they were okay with it. They weren't like, well, yeah, we're going to judge you on rules and regulations because they didn't follow them, or strictly, or they, it's like, oh, good, somebody came and we don't have to follow so strictly, But they were there within the transcendental person, and then they developed the feeling really quick. You notice that happening here? Usually, the obstacle is people being stickler for the rules. Often, they think, "Well, I don't know, man. I'm attached to the rules, and Gauri's not following them." Well, I follow certain. I don't. I'm not without rule. I have the rule, man. But the essence. Man, I want to associate with the ecstatic devotees. That's a rule. I welcome the transcendental nature of the Lord and Radha into my heart. Let me be wild with this bhakti and ecstasy. I welcome it. I pray for it. I'm greedy for that. That's a rule.
Yeah, you're preaching the Raganuga rules.
Yeah, Raganuga rules. So I don't follow strictly the Vaidhi rules. That we need to make clear to the Vaidhi devotees. Listen, we're not devoid of rules. We have rules. We have rules that you don't follow because you don't come here, so you're not following the rules that we teach. These rules are the more strong rules. These are the more clear rules. These are the more essential.
Postgraduate.
What?
Postgraduate.
Yeah, these are the more essential rules to get bhakti quickly. Your rules will take you lifetimes, like your gurus tell you. See? So we're you. If you come and you learn about these rules, then you'll enter the kingdom of God quicker because they're the essence of all rules. You start to learn. Wow, it's not. You get over blind adherence. This is for less intelligent people. You come here, you'll get intelligence quickly. Yeah. Look, people coming here, they get it fast. Yeah. Okay, give us a word here. I think we're going to stop for a while.
It's beautiful. Guru Maharaj is every day. It's so, so beautiful. All those realizations, all this power. It's so growing. Wow, it's really, really fantastic. But you're really, what you're giving us, it's unbelievable. Krishna consciousness is so beautiful. I can shout it from the rooftops, really. And I have so much compassion with everybody who doesn't have this. The world is so ignorant. You really takes us out of this darkness of ignorance by what you're teaching us. by your prem, by giving us prem, so that we discover the Lord ourselves, that we, oh my God, it's full of surprises. It's so, so fantastic. It's really, yeah, I
You know,
keep enjoying.
I was wondering yesterday when I said, boy, you know, you guys are saying that these classes are so great. I also feel they're great, but you guys have like a special, you know, appreciation somehow, you know. And so I said, well, let me listen to my class again. And I listened. I said, oh, and I started to really get it. It's like, wow, that's so nice. Oh, this is so true. You know, I was really, really enjoying it. This is that spiritual potency. It's wonderful. Like that. It's so important. I was thinking, yeah, this is important for people to know. They don't know these things. This will take away their ignorance, you know? And then they find Vrindavan so fast. You know? The
But
only
it's
reason
not
I,
only your classes, it's all the miracles that are happening in our lives
yeah,
because of being connected to you. That's
yeah, yeah,
that's really the,
that's the witness program. That's what they got with Jesus.
yeah.
Because they were with somebody that was divinely ordained by God and they believed in him. They had all these amazing things happen. And it's happening here, showing that that kind of potency is here. You know, it's just, I mean, here's the real deal. And the Lord wants to show us the real deal. So he shows the experiences you're getting. And it actually it helps me become convinced. I'm sure Jesus, when he saw people, these things happening, he felt the same. It's like, wow, you see, God is ordaining this here. You know, we all need to be convinced that the where God is working, right? You know, this increases my faith also. Um,
About Jesus, Guru Maharaj, they received the Holy Spirit when he disappeared. Was there reason because otherwise they would stay attached to that bodily thing, to the body
well,
of the
um,
spiritual master?
well, you know, it's probably like that. Um, they 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 needed the separation more. See,
Yeah.
because Jesus was always there. So they needed the separation, which is the desire to meet the Jesus again, because he was actually spirit in a body. He was a spirit made flesh. And they always had him around. But when he disappeared, their desire increased. That's called separation. And and therefore the Lord came like that because of their desire. That's the Lord's nature, even materially. If you desire mundane things, it's the Lord who actually is sanctioning it if it comes to you. But you notice you usually got to work for it harder because fruit of you know, oh, you want money? You gotta get you know, you gotta unless you inherit that money, and that's usually because of a past life. You know, you just inherit it. So, but a lot of people they have to work hard if they desire that. And that's why these motivation, these influencers are on the thing. They motivate you, right? Oh yeah, I'm wealthy, man. You could be too, and people are thinking, you know, usually they don't have a lot of austerities, you know, and they say, well, you can also, but you gotta, you know, you're gonna work for it, man. You gotta be austere. You gotta listen to these things. See, so to get that kind of wealth, mundane wealth is usually hard. See? So spiritual wealth, we do what Jesus taught. Seek the kingdom of God and all else is added. Automatically, the results of everything. This is nectar devotion. The, the, uh, the, the glory of bhakti, engaging in pure devotional service, you get the results, economic development, sense gratification, religiosity, and liberation automatically. Otherwise, very hard to attain all of those things on their own independently. And that's what most people are doing. They're going around those different paths, fruit of activity, economic development, you know, sent to enjoy sense enjoyments and all that. But a devotee gets it all. My life is an example of that. All I do is I just do engage in pure devotional service, and everything comes along just kind of naturally, not with a lot of effort. I can't do a lot. I'd be homeless if it didn't come. I'd be doing what I did before. I just go roam around, you know, just because I don't really care about this. I don't care enough to do anything. Hard work and all that. I just don't care to do it. But this is what I care about. And this shows me, look at this. The Lord is taking care of everything. And I think He's doing that for a lot of people out there. He makes everything easier for you. It's the way bhakti is. You find, why wouldn't the Lord take care of you more? Be your protector. You found the real path. You have faith in the real path, man. That's all the Lord is looking for, is that you develop real intelligence, is to find the real path and stay on it. Stay with the devotees forever. Like, what do you think the Narada Muni, even though he might be roaming around the material universe, he's with the devotees forever. He's always thinking about them. They're the only real thing in this world. He doesn't believe in the Lord's Maya. That's why he can roam in this world. He doesn't have any faith in it. He doesn't have faith in external devotional service. He has faith in internal devotion, faith in love, loving relations. Anyway, we got the good. Go ahead, bud.
Can I come back on my question?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
I asked this because Mary Magdalene was not allowed to touch him when he appeared again, and the other women were allowed to touch him. And I think it's because she was more attached to him that she couldn't touch the body, that she needed that separation thing more than others. That was the meaning. No,
Well,
that
not
was.
in my. Well, in my opinion, would be it's just because of the man, the man woman thing. They didn't treat
But the
him as.
other women could touch him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why wait? Well, maybe because they were looking at her like coming from a whore body. Could be more like because she was a prostitute. Maybe something like that.
Oh, I didn't see it like that.
Yeah, because they had that. They have this thing. They could be still at that point even. Um,
After
a
the
little-
resurrection, I mean, eh?
yeah, after the resurrection.
After the resurrection, I mean, he came back, he
Yeah,
showed himself to
yeah,
his disciples, and then he showed himself when she went to the grave,
yeah.
and he appeared and he said, "Don't touch me."
Oh no, 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 no. Okay. Well, he was in the middle of resurrecting, and even disciples can actually. They could be like something. My feeling is it was more like that. He was in the middle of resurrecting. Very pure and holy and all that, not to be touched by even a disciple is. Around in the world and stuff, and he's in this holy state. Something special is going on. So it was "Don't touch me yet." Later, after it was complete, he came and they could touch him and all
Because the other women could touch him and not
that.
her.
Not right then. It was later.
Ah, okay.
See, later he appeared to them, but she went early, and he was in the process of doing some resurrecting. You know, and so I mean that's my feeling. I mean what I'm seeing. To me, it makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very clear.
And
Yeah.
later, then, I'm sure she touched him like, well, maybe it depends. If there was any prejudice there, she said she's leaving the Sangha. Shamaguri, okay, well, Shamaguri's leaving the Sangha. Yeah, just, back and forth thing. What are you going to do? It's just, you got to develop strength. And people get knocked off by their weaknesses, whatever that is, See, faith, soft faith. One day, I'll never leave. It's just kind of like, Peter is a good example. He said, I'll never leave, right? Jesus, I'll never leave. And a little false confidence, a little bit of there. And Jesus said, well, when the cock crows 3 times, you're going to deny me and all that stuff, or whatever. Leave. He was going to leave, basically. And he said, but you'll recover. See, because you have enough association. It might be for her too. When she recovers, I don't know. I don't even know what the situation is, but it's, anytime you leave, there's some kind of internal thing, or maybe she got contaminated.
It's
Well, I remember,
purification.
yeah,
Purification.
could be purification. I remember sometimes people would leave because they would associate with Vites too much, and then they get contaminated by that. It's a Prabhupada taught this, and don't think that this is not true. They even taught this in, I think it's chapter 3 in Adi Lila, in a purport. He said, Vaidhi Bhakti is a contamination for Raganuga spontaneous devotion. And if you're too close to that, too close to those mentality of devotees like that, it can be, and you're not strong in this, you may be contaminated by developing faith in that. That's what Meena and Mahavirya and my ex-wife, it's a contamination. Just like also Christianity can be a contamination because they're salvationists, mainly. They just want to be liberated. See? These different, what we're doing here is is very rare, very powerful, but also it goes by the rules. So, everybody has their challenges, but, Shamaguri is, she has her heart is here and all that. And let's see.
Yeah, it's
I
about accepting advice, and yeah,
is that why she's leaving?
I
Because
think so.
she accepted advice. See, accepted
No, no,
advice.
no, no, not accepting advice here. She doesn't want to accept advice here.
Oh,
Always right fighting, and yeah, yeah, at the end.
well, I mean, I told her to be herself. She could be herself. She doesn't have to. You know,
So
I
are
told
we?
her
We
she
can
had
be
to.
ourselves as well.
Yeah, you can be. I told everybody be themselves. I mean, if I told her, if you want to post things like you're doing, you just post things like you're doing. I mean, it doesn't have to be a hindrance. Just keep coming here. And but if you, like I tell Sachi, she said, I just like I have to fight. I want to go and have kirtan with the devotees there. And I said, well, that's your heart. Do it. Live your truth. It's okay, but keep coming here. And she does. I mean, sometimes she's strong. I don't want to. You go hard. You say not to go there. And I said, but if you want to go there, live it out because it's in your heart. This is the Lord. Maybe there's some lesson there. Maybe still you're getting something from that. So it's okay. It's okay. My Lord's very powerful. You know?
Yeah,
And so whatever your truth is, and like Lalita, maybe you don't like, you say, hey, why are you doing that? You give advice. So
yeah,
anyway,
I
I,
got a lot
I
of
did the
advice.
best I can with her. If she doesn't, I told her, I said, listen, you don't have to listen to what they tell you. You can continue on posting if that's what you want to do. But
But
you
don't
don't
be
have to,
angry that we keep doing our conclusive preaching, of course.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
We are not going to
Yeah.
stop our
No,
conclusive
yeah,
preaching.
but you know what that is? It's probably this. This is what's getting purified. See, it's starting the fire. See, that's why she
I
wants
know
to
it
get out
burns
of. Sometimes you
inside.
got to jump out of the frying pan for a little bit. It gets a little hot here. You start cooking these stuff. So anyway, I'm sure it'll all work out. You know, her heart's in the right place. Yeah. I think happy others the example. Let's see. And then a sound resounded from a cloud, shouted and louder. Oh, a lot of comments. Oh, I didn't see. I didn't see any. Oh my God! I'll go to the end first. Oh my God! See, that's good. See, a lot of comments means people thinking. Krishna's given some good ideas. Wow! How can I get so many? I'm not coming to the end. Oh, Shamaguri here. And there's some comment from her. Let's see. Oh man, I have to read the comments later. There's so many. Dr. Tom, I sometimes also don't like Lalita's advices. Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, man, you just gotta. Hey, I'll tell you, man, it was like that 550 years ago. The devotee, like Gadadhar Pandit, you know. Well, anyway, the devotees were, they would be a little bit, whatever they would do, and not everybody would agree, but still they're family and family members, and not everybody agrees, and there's little fights and stuff, you know. So,
I'm telling the truth, and the truth hurts. That's the
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah,
Truth
yeah,
hurts.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, man, you just got to deal with it. And that's why I told Tom also. I said, listen, you just got to follow your heart. Maybe you can't take everything that the devotees say. It's okay. It's not fine. You just trust your heart, and don't, if it's not working for you, it's not working for you. It's okay, you
He
know.
doesn't have to ask my advice then.
Ah, yes, your advice too. And then it goes, yeah, well,
Ask someone else.
say, I'm not happy with how Tom and Radha speak to other devotees. They are also part of driving out, part of driving out. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? We don't like what we don't like. We're all in family. Exactly. One way. Yeah, exactly. Just family. Just don't take everything too seriously. Because I have family members, they have their little bickerings and fights and all that. Just forgive each other. Playing to Bhakti Tom. She has no knowledge. She is ugly, but still I love that crazy lady.
That's Radhe. He's joking. She's
That's
just
right,
joking.
man. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, there might be a little struggle with yourself sometimes in trying to make it functional. Anyway, hang around, man. We try and accommodate everybody. I love this burning feeling when the false. See that? Yeah, see, that's the mood. You get to that
Yeah,
mood.
he's
Oh man,
right.
it's burning up, man. See, but
Yeah,
that takes some ecstasy to get there.
yeah.
You got to get into it. I remember, when I don't have that so much anymore. After a while, it burns up to the point where not much, but occasionally something, but not a lot. And it's great because I used to look forward to that. I remember the stuff when it was really, I said, oh, good, more room for bhakti, man. Burning, yeah, you become more ecstatic. The important thing is to see the focus on the bigger picture. Exactly. We're all in this together. Exactly. Yeah. Come on, where are you guys going to get this? Yeah, it's just amazing. Even churches, churches that have tight group, they all also bicker and they have little fights and misunderstandings. And all that. They had it a bit in Vrindavan too. You think it was all perfect there? In Vrindavan, they all have their own thing. They're all fighting too. They're fighting politics. Got Chandravali against Radharani, competing for attentions. And then you got Chatila there with her mood. I want to dance with somebody. We got to get Dean Smith up here. Let him. Hey, you should perform on the stage over here, Dean. You got to come up here sometimes live. We want to see how you do. Jesus said, you're going to have two, Peter. He replied, where am I going to go? Yeah, exactly. You have the words of life. Where are you guys going to go? We got the words of life here. They're very lively. Give us a lot of life, a lot of material to dance on the stage in this world. Tequila, it will make me happy. Tequila. I'm in Mexico. We got some of that here too, but it's not like this. This is better.
This doesn't give headache.
Yeah, that can give you a headache. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I have a beer. I put a little shot of tequila in it, but I don't. I just have one. Just one little, and boom. And everything's fine. But if you do two or three or something, you get problems. So that you got to balance it. You come here, you got to become a little mature. Like if you when you have a beer beer and think, oh, I have one beer, and you have 7 pints or something. There's something, it's going to be an obstacle. Give me a word, Rade. Waiting for it. Okay, so have a good day, and I'll be back before the day is out. And Lalita will sing to you midday. She's getting into it, I notice. She really likes that now. She's addicted to Sankirtan. Okay, Haribo, everybody. I'll see if I go through the comments later.